Hello everyone, my name is Bree and welcome to Documented Journey. So this is totally out of my element. I am not a planner channel normally, but I am in love with this planner, and so I wanted to share what I'm doing with it and how it's working for me. This is actually my second time in the weeks. This is a Hobonichi Weeks. And it is my second time. The first time, I didn't actually use it like I wanted to. It just wasn't working for me. But when I saw this cover, I kind of fell in love with it. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I bought it mainly because I really loved the cover. I had been using something similar to this for, I don't know, all of last year. You know, my kids have gotten older, so the planning has gotten more, and so I thought, oh yeah, I'll actually use the weeks this time, and I have, and I love it. So I kind of just wanted to walk through how I use it, what I use with it, and what some of my favorite supplies are, so that way you can see what I'm using. My go-to supplies, well, I'll just kind of run through this. This is a band that I bought off the Hobonichi website the very first time I bought the weeks. So 2 years ago. I don't know if they still have this color, but it's kind of cool because it wraps around that little button. It's like a leather button, and you can like set it down, wrap it around, and it hooks. So that's really neat. I do have a clear cover on it. I love this because I really like the cover. Obviously, that's the whole point of me purchasing this. So I like that I get to see my cover all the time. I can't get away from the clear cover because of that, because I just love this cover. So there's that. I did get the pencil board with it. It's the Weeks pencil board. And this is a Cat Rail sticker. I talk about her all the time. I will list her in the description box. I buy almost every single sticker she has. This is what I'm using for my YouTube tracking. I'm not using anything on this page because it's past and forward calendar months, and I just don't need it. I'm using this for weight and period tracking, girly stuff. I had been trying to figure this out, and I figured it out. I'm using it for cleaning and just like figuring out my schedule with like daily maintenance with the house. So that's what I'm going to be using in these monthly spreads. The reason why I don't forward plan on here is because my husband and I both use the Google Calendar, and because like we both want to see what's going on, it's really nice to sync everything up. So I don't really forward plan on here. I do all my pre-planning on there. So this is kind of what started the weeks off. You could start the weeks on the 26th of November, so that's what I did. I tried to figure out how exactly I was going to use it. I was marking the weather in here and ended up not doing that anymore. I love highlighters. I've used them for a couple years to like cross off things, so I stuck with that. But I was kind of playing around with this section. This section I use now more like a bullet journal. So I kind of like separated the sections, and I could make lists. I really like lists. So each page has gotten better and better, and I would say this is the page that kind of like I really liked my layout. Now it could change. I mean, obviously it changes with the time of our life and what we're doing, but I really like the idea of things to do, what we're eating. I make about 3 meals a week, and then we eat leftovers and, you know, do all that kind of stuff in between. Etsy, what I need to order, and grocery list. I really like that idea. I'm still doing the same thing where I write what we need to do and cross them off. But I've eliminated the weather. The weather is now going in my A6 journal. And so this is kind of what's going on. So I kind of wanted to do a week with you and show you how I did it, and show you the things that I use. I really like these. This is a little case for them, but these are the friction stamps. I really like them because I like the size of them. I like the case they come in. I really enjoy these. And so what I have here is I have a car for traveling. I have a little paper clip for, mainly I use those for things to do. I have a birthday stamp. a fork and knife for food, and then an airplane for travel. I also have a heart and a star. So I really like these for just documenting the things. The heart is YouTube for me, and the star are, I don't know, I just star stuff if I want to remember them. I also use these little tabs. I did a setup video of my Hobonichi Weeks, and I talk about how I'm using my tabs and like what's all in the back here. So I will list that in the description box for you so you can see how I'm using these. But they just tab different sections for me. And then obviously I pick one color a week, as you can tell back here. Like this is the current week that I'm on, and I'm using yellow. So I'm just crossing things off as they come. But this is the week that I wanted to do with you, and I'm just gonna show you kind of how I do it, and it's really easy. I do sometimes Google some like bullet journal like headers, so that way I know kind of like how I want things to look. I have a select few that I like to use all the time, and so yeah, that is what I am going to do now. So let's see, I want to pick some headers. Let's make it really kind of simple. My go-to ones. So up here, this is where I like the things to do section. I want to figure out how big I want to make it. So this is the end. And I like to write the header, and then I like to draw around it. So I'm just going to write it out. And I am one of those fake calligraphers. So I write it in my cursive, and then I fill in the downstrokes to be thicker. Yep, I'm one of them. I don't have good calligraphy skills. Things to... Oh, I never talked about this pen that I'm using. These two fonts right here are my go-to fonts. This pen that I'm using is a Uniball RE. It's an erasable. It's in 0.5 and gray ink. I'm accustomed to Lexington gray ink, so having this ink was really nice because I'm just used to the gray color. But I also like the friction pens. I use those a lot as well. So here's my to-do list. I like to box it in with some kind of little decoration type ordeal. And I kind of flip back and see what I haven't used in a while. I did boxes that week, triangles, circles. Let's do hearts. Oh, and it's, when is Valentine's Day? This is my mom's birthday, so probably I don't know. Valentine's Day doesn't matter to me, so sorry. Sorry for those of you that really like Valentine's Day. So I'll do hearts because, I mean, why not? It's Valentine's Day. One of those days, I think it's the 14th. My kids have to take Valentine's to class, so I'm gonna have to remember the day somehow, right? So I like to just like decorate the border a bit. It just makes it more fun, easier to look at. I don't know. A lot of people do this and a lot of people don't. It's up to you. I would call myself like a minimalist planner, or, I mean, it's nice to look at, but it's not technically considered a pretty planner because aren't pretty planners with stickers? I don't like to use stickers because it bulks up the pages, but there's that. And then I probably should use pink for this week, huh? All right. Let's use pink. Let's see. Sorry for the sniffles. I just used this one. Let's do like this pinky purple color. Put these back. Throw this in here because I want to use this gray sometime soon. And then what I do here is I just kind of like fill in the box. So that way it brings the color into it. This is just like, I don't know, this is just how I do it. I like to tie the page together with pretty much just one color. And because it's a erasable, sometimes, because these are so juicy, sometimes it like kind of erases the pen a bit. So I just let it dry and then I'll go over it. I really like the erasable. I like how it writes. I like that it erases, so I use it. Here is going to be my 3 meals that I cook. Sometimes I cook more, but it's just realistic for me to plan 3. So what I do is I draw a box around those because I like what that looks like. And then this is where I write anything that I need for Etsy. So I kind of like letter that in. And then I draw a line like it's an underline around under this. And then I just list them like they're like a list. So I'm gonna underline it like this time. Thick, nice and thick. Sometimes I draw, on this one, I drew it through it. And, oh, I did it the same way on all those. But this works. And then if I want to, I can do a little arrow here and here. Just to kind of like, you know, make it fancy. This is probably dry now, so if I need to go over anything, maybe I color these in so that way the to-do stands out more. Since this is gray ink, it's not like it's black, you know? So color that in a bit, that looks good. Etsy, and then what I do is I just make these boxes and then I write down what I need to buy. Let's see, down here, I'm trying to think what kind of cool little thing I can do. I need to research more of these fun headers because all I have is like 3 that I really go to, or 4. This one, and that one that you saw. Oh, I could do that one. Okay, I'll do that one. It's very similar to this up here. Or I just do a boring box. So let's write out grocery and we'll grocery. Sometimes my things aren't centered. I don't worry about that. I feel like it doesn't really matter. I mean, it would look better, but again, this is just for me to look out through the week and not think it looks, you know, absolutely disgusting. It's not like scratched out and written over and I don't know. It just makes me want to use it when it kind of looks nice and neat. And then I'll write list under here. And like I said, it's not centered, but that does not bother me because it does kind of look nice, you know? Maybe I'll do the bubble coming off this way. So I do that, and then I'm gonna give it a couple outlines. Let's see, did I color this in last time? Yeah, I colored that one in. Did I color the first one in? I don't think I did. Okay, and then so it has some like marks down here to create, like, it's like pretty much telling you that it's a shadow. And then I'm going to do another box so that way I can add the hearts. Kind of went past that, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about it. I'm going to make the hearts. I feel like if I keep it consistent with the pattern style and the color, everything kind of looks really nice. So, and this is super quick, you know, it's not like I spend a long time trying to like set this up, but yet I still get the same effect for me as I would for a bullet journal because this is the perfect setup for me with the week and the dot grid or the grid on this side. It's not dot, is it? But you get what I'm saying. I'll just do 2 down here. And then my watch broke, and so I'm using one of my daughter's hair ties to hold it together because I'm cheap. So I'm gonna outline that. I just don't like to buy things when this is perfectly fine, you know? It's just the band that broke. And then, or the holder, I don't know what to call it. Make the little shadow, and I'll fill these in with this. There. So there's that. And then on this side, if I have stuff that is going on, like grandma's birthday, I'm gonna put a little birthday symbol there, and then I'll fill in the rest off camera. But this is like what it looks like for the most part. I got to flip through some of my pages. I would say that this, for me, is extremely helpful because these friction stamps take forever to dry. So this is just a blotter paper that I got with an Anami paper order a long time ago. And I just cut it down to the width of the weeks. And look, see? They're not dry all the way. So this blotter paper, and I'm sure, I don't know what the special thing is with blotter paper. Maybe any paper can do this, but since I have it, I'm gonna use it. But I just kind of like stick my blotter paper on the stamps and pick up as much of the pigment as I can. It does like make the stamp a bit less bright, but you know how I am. I don't mind dingy colors. And then I stick my, obviously my bookmark in there, and that tells me what week I'm on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's just really simple and short and sweet, but anytime I post my a photo of my week on Instagram, I always get comments about how nice and neat it looks. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how I set it up and how quick it is and how easy it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, everybody, I'll see ya.